Who's going to lead us off? Who's got a mic?
I got it.
Go ahead.
You always say goals change games, but you didn't say who has to score the goal.
That's right.
Is that just a kind of stroke of luck your team needed to kind of turn momentum?
Absolutely. I think the luck has been kind of going against us in the early part of these first 3 games, but I think today, again, putting balls in dangerous areas, getting guys, and again, something that we've emphasized was getting numbers in the box. And, you know, Deej makes a run in the box that attracts the center back. That, again, these type of actions are what, you know, we've been talking about in the last couple of days to make sure that we're not putting the burden on the 9 to score the goal, but we are creating havoc in front of goal and good delivery. So that's the stroke of luck we needed. But I thought, you know, there's a lot of good stuff in this game, and what I really enjoyed was not only the second goal because I thought it was class, but really how we saw the game out in a more mature fashion. And again, with a group that's relatively young, in particular up front, it's really important that we learn real quickly how to see out games. And I'm really proud of the way the guys held in there against, again, for me, it's going to be one of the best attacking teams in the league. And to keep them off the board, to dig in their heels and make plays defensively when we're up 2, makes me really proud.
You got a pretty good look at both Ari and Forster today. Thoughts on just those 2 strikers that you have up top?
Yeah, like I said last game, it's been unfortunate that Ari hasn't been available for us because today he did some really, really good things. You know, I think his soccer IQ, running the channels, holding the ball up, all the little things really brought our team into the game. And then Forster coming in, again, making a play, and it was a fantastic play. I mean, it was top level, and I think you know, for as much as, you know, it's been tough with just one striker. These 2 guys today did a fantastic job, and definitely a performance from both of them to build on.
We saw a lot of change in the back line. Just talk us through the depth that we see with Glad, with Bear, with all the many guys that you guys have.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we're excited about with this group is how deep we are in those back 6 positions, really. I think they've all done a really good job in their own different ways. And I think when you have competition in those positions, the training week becomes a little bit different. There's more. I have to make sure that I'm dialed in on a Tuesday. And today, I think the back line and Rafa were exceptional against what for me is going to be the best attacking team in this league. To keep them off the board, it was great. And obviously, Phil and Javain are still, you know, suffering from a lack of preseason, and they both cramped up today. And those weren't expected subs, but subs that we had to be nimble with and deal with. So credit to those guys in the back line, credit to the guys that came in, and really just a really good team performance today.
And then also, what did you learn from your team after a heartbreaking loss on Wednesday to all of a sudden turn around against a tough team like Seattle?
Yeah, it says a lot of it. Again, we talk about mentality a lot in the locker room, and the reason why we talk about mentality is because we focus so much on the tactical aspect of it, on the technical aspect of the game, but really what drives the needle are those unforeseen moments that occur in transition, where the ball gets deflected, and are you dialed in for that moment? You know, there's 5,400 moments in a football match, and you can't get one of them wrong. And today the guys were dialed in, and really pleased about how they responded after not only a tough loss at home, but really a tough start to the campaign.
Diogo, designated player, is he coming along? Is he where you need him to be right now? He had a nice assist today, but what are your thoughts on your designated player?
Yeah, no, I think Diego had a really good match. You know, I think the way opponents play us will decide how much he gets on the ball. Today, they obviously took a lot of central options away, and so we had a lot of good looks with Alex and Sam and Dom in the wide areas. And so oftentimes we have to take what the game gives us, and that's what I ask the players to do is to read the game, read the moments. But again, I think when you talk about making plays, it might just be 4 times that you get the ball in real dangerous areas and you got to make something happen, and today he did.
What about Cabral? It looks like you found a keeper, some fine distribution. What are your thoughts on his play?
I thought he was exceptional today. And really what was exceptional is he made the save in the first half that we needed as a team to keep us in the game. And that is very difficult. It was a tough save, and kept us clean. The stuff with the ball is all added bonus, And today he was exceptional with the ball. He was the one that found, Forster up front that started the second goal. I thought his distribution was as good as it's ever been around here. But really making that save really created belief in the back line, who then carried on their work in a way that was confident. And so I think he was exceptional tonight.
Finally, what about the difference in mentality? It looked like a different team than Wednesday. How's that coming along?
Yeah, I think it's always going to be a work in progress. I think you learn about your team with every game played. And I think the challenge for us early on was obviously the travel that we endured, and the some of the guys that didn't do preseason, a couple injuries. Luna was out for a while, so it'll take some time. But what I saw today, even Diego running on fumes at the end, making sure that he gets inside to help the team defend. And I think when you have attacking players that are committed to not only themselves being talked about from an attacking perspective, but doing all the little grunt work to preserve a clean sheet, which is immense for the back line, which is immense for the midfielders. I think it speaks volume. And again, I think today Ojeda was a mentality monster. This guy covered all kinds of ground, made all kinds of plays, and really happy for him as well.
Pablo, the game was going pretty well, and you used all your subs there pretty quickly. What do you think about the way the subs got in and fit into the game and kept the intensity going?
Yeah, again, I think the one thing with us is the way we want to play is we always want to get pressure on the ball. And so there's a huge demand that, when they're warming up, they're actually visualizing going into the game and trying to match the speed of the game, which is always difficult. Again, a natural tendency is to want to drop off when you have a lead. But I really like the way, again, Forster, back pressed. Bodie got after the ball. Kobe, getting real tight and not just allowing them to keep the ball for large periods of time. When the pressure's right, we defend the right way. And I think those guys helped us quite a bit coming into the game.
Can you elaborate a little more on the back line? Because that's really unusual. And I guess you had two subs up there because of conditioning. It's really unusual to see a coach use three subs. And what does that say about the competition for those jobs going forward?
Yeah, again, I think every situation, there's a silver lining in it. And the way we set out preseason was to go with two teams for the two different tournaments because we felt like we had enough depth to be able to be competitive in both. And in doing such, we got Philip some minutes, we got Javane some minutes, we got Kobe some minutes. And so, I think the level of confidence, because it's one thing if we went with one team and now game 2 of the MLS season, we're now trying them out for the first time and we have no idea what they're going to get. I think we're pretty confident that we have, 7, 8 great defenders back there that are going to be competing for spots. And now the mentality is also that we can really get after games. Because if one guy runs 2 games in a row, we feel really confident in the next guy stepping up. So although the plans weren't sub today, the guys that stepped in had big game moments to now lean on in difficult times. So I'm hoping that those first few games were a good example of what it takes to play in this league, and more importantly, compete to win games in this league.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
So, what are your positives that you can take away from this match heading into the next match?
The positives are, I think we continue to have good opportunities to control the game and momentum with the ball. And now we're going to really get into the details of, is this the moment to put the ball across? Or is this the moment to rotate them one more time? Because again, the more rotations you have across the midfield, the more you can now start penetrating centrally to find your 10s. So again, it's just identifying moments when we can play balls behind the defense that are dangerous, like the first goal, or there's moments where now it's not clear, we're going to rotate it again, and in that rotation, can we find our 10s? If not, no problem, we'll rotate them one more time. So you force the team to move. So now I'm getting into the weeds here as far as the way we want to play, but I thought there was a lot of good moments where we made the best decision that the game gave us. the other part is the collective defending was a good takeaway. I think, again, if you want to be, you can't be chasing games all the time. You can't be behind the score sheet. And I think today the guys, and that takes everyone. It's not just the defenders. And I just think there was a really good collective understanding of how important this moment without the ball is all over the field. And that's something to continue to build upon.
Speaking of the understandings of coming up for the next match, do you see an improvement on what you emphasized on Wednesday from the exit?
Absolutely. I think there was, and the way I think I saw that, because we talk about making this your craft and really giving into this game, is the level of focus there was. And again, like I said, there's so many moments in football that can decide a match. And you don't know which moment that's going to be. Is it a set piece? Is it the run of play? And you've got to be alert and you've got to be dialed in. And I heard more communication tonight. I saw the body language of the players on the field that was very much side on when they were going long. The communication and the pointing was really good. So overall, I thought it was a very good performance. And like I said, we're by no means the finished product, but these moments where you have a good performance, you have a good result, allows you to now double down on the work, not step off, go harder. And I feel like the group's ready to be challenged in that way.
Algo que quizás en estos 4 partidos que van de temporada, 2 de la MLS, que a ti te gustaría que se mejorara un poco en ciertas cuestiones, porque hoy se mejoró mucho en la cuestión defensiva, pero al momento de llegar al ataque como que aún falta más entendimiento entre los jugadores, quizás por la falta de adaptación, pero que es algo que a ti te gustaría mejorar.
Sí, no, yo creo que ese tema también tiene que ver con la primera vez que el Diego juegan juntos y más con el Ari. O sea, todavía se están conociendo y si pueden jugar como jugaron hoy, yo me imagino que el entendimiento de los movimientos del compañero va a mejorar. Así, yo creo que ahora como tenemos un partido cada semana, podemos trabajar en esas relaciones con los jugadores que van a salir titular en la mayoría de los partidos. Y me imagino que el ataque va a mejorar también.
So over the first 2 games of the MLS season, what would you like to see improving? Obviously, it was the first time that Diego and Diego played together at the 10 and the wing, like on the same side, and then also the first game that they played with Ari. So obviously, they're going to still have to build that connection between the players that are going to be fighting to start every week. So that's when the attack will start coming together.
Hey, Pablo, congratulations on the win tonight. How do you feel Ari fit in up top? He wasn't going to go, and then he was going. What's the status?
Yeah, so, I mean, it was a last-second call, really. And actually talked to him after training tomorrow to make sure that he felt comfortable with the decision. And he was, he's got this swagger about him. And, I think he brought that to the game today. I thought his hold-up play was spectacular. Getting on the end of things was really, really good. And for a guy that's been out and literally not trained until yesterday with the group, to have a performance like he did tonight speaks volumes of his professionalism and how dialed in he is and how bad he wants to be the guy. So I couldn't be more pleased with the young man.
Hold on a sec. There you go, Coach.
Hey, Scott. Good to see you,
Congrats.
man. Thanks, man.
Sorry, that was important. Yeah, well deserved, man.
Thank you.
Seriously,
Thank you.
enjoy.
Thank you.
He can jump in anytime he wants to.
He does whatever he wants. That's right. He does whatever he wants.
No, and then the attack looked a little more cohesive as well. The balls wide seemed to flow a little bit better. Was that something that you just do well against Seattle?
Well, again, I think a lot of it has to do with the shape they came out with, and the way we're set up is we're going to create max width across their back line, and ask some real questions of their rotations. When we rotate the ball, they're going to have to rotate as well, and how they do that. So the majority of the first half, Javane Brown was our +1, right? And then it's really engaging the line of confrontation and then finding guys like Dom. And then that's what I'm talking about. I think we'll continue to improve as we move forward, is the moments. Because, again, I think if Dom receives it behind the back line, it's a really clear cue for the guys crashing the box. If Dom receives it in front of the guy and we still serve it, it's not a really clear cue. And so we'll continue to work on these things. And again, a big part of our game is finding our 10s, which they didn't. They did a good job of not allowing a lot of those. But when we did find Diogo, I thought we were dangerous. So again, we'll continue to refine things. But I think game over game, we're getting better in the final third. We're getting better in momentum. And this is a long journey of learning and just improving upon each game.
Thanks, Pablo.
All right, thanks.